moving on. Let's jump into the NBA Finals, man. It has been a wildly entertaining series to me. Last night, OKC got a little dicey in the fourth quarter, but they were able to go on a run, spurred by some really good defense, defeat the Indiana Pacers. They go up 3-2. Game 6 is, I believe, Wednesday? No, Thursday, because it's 3 days. It's 3 days from now.
Okay.
So, first of all, before we talk about what we think will happen in Game 6, your reaction to Game 5 and what you saw.
Yeah, man. OKC comes out super, super hot. And I kind of felt that way anyway going into that game, especially with the way that Indiana lost Game 4. I thought that they were just a better team the whole time, and OKC ends up really Shea pulls out W, you know what I'm saying, was he and put like 36 or whatnot, scored like 15 in the fourth. So I thought that was going to translate into Game 5, almost like Indiana felt like, yo, we had a chance to go up 3-1, bro. Like have a dominating lead over the series, and we let it slip away. And now we're going back, and now we have to go 2 times if we want to win this. We got to go 2 times to OKC, even though we won one already in OKC, but we got to go 2 times. And so I just felt like OKC was going to be coming out like, yo, you know what? We should not even let y'all dominate us the way y'all did for 3 quarters over there. We're going to go and take this. And that's what they did. And so I thought that so in halftime, that's when they announced that Tyrese Halliburton had strained his hamstring, or just like, I don't know what they had called is it was a hamstring though, right?
Calf strain. They didn't tell you what it was. They just said lower leg injury, that he had been dealing with a lower leg injury throughout the playoffs. And then today they announced it was a calf strain. He said that he is going to do everything in his power to be ready for Game 6.
Yeah. And you know, and he did that. He stayed in the game. I mean, you could clearly see that he wasn't. I mean, bro, did he even attempt a field goal? I don't even know if he attempted a field goal.
Very few. Okay. I think he was 0 for 6.
Okay, so he did. Okay, yeah. So he didn't make a field goal. He wasn't even doing anything else, you know, anything else on the court, really. I mean, he was just running, and he was out there because, you know, you still got to respect Tyrese or whatnot. I actually thought that Rick Carlisle has to just make, because Rick Carlisle, he's still playing 9-10 people in his rotation, which is unheard of, right? Because I mean, when you get to the playoffs, you try to cut that down to 7 or whatnot, but he's legit going 10, sometimes even more than that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, he has like another platoon to come in sometimes with Obi and TJ and all that stuff. I thought TJ McConnell comes in the game and he creates this spark, bro, where you cut this, where it felt like OKC was just clearly up by like 15 the whole time. He cuts it down and you're like, oh, it's a single digit lead. You know what I'm saying? And then Tyrese comes back in the game, and maybe you don't want to play TJ and Tyrese at the same time, but I'm like, keep TJ on the court though. Like that's who's getting. And first of all, I mean, he's there because he's outworked. Like he's not taller than anybody. He doesn't shoot better than nothing like that. But he's outworking everyone, and because he's so small, almost like this JJ Barea type of like, you know, agility, where he's kind of like gets around the opponent and then gets a layup where it should be blocked, which like, oh, he just got it up before the guy got there. Keep him in the game, bro, because he was the one that was sparking all of that. Obi Toppin should have been on the floor. I just thought that, you know, I mean, the minutes that he provides, which I thought he actually was going to lose minutes, but him going out there just being super athletic and stuff. So I thought Indiana had a chance to kind of really make it interesting. And they did, because I think they even got it down to maybe 2 or 3. I don't know.
4. They got down to 4 in the fourth quarter.
4. And I just thought that it was just I don't think it was the right decision to keep Tyrese out there. Maybe he should have been honest himself. Hey, you know what? I'm like, there's a better option here, because I mean, it's the finals, right? What superstar, what star of a team is not going to want to be out there? But at the same time, it's like, yo, you have another game in Indiana. You have tomorrow. You can rest up. Not even come all the way out, but just see because this is working. This did work. And so, but with that though, I mean, OKC kind of knew. I mean, OKC seen it, right? They were like, yo, we're not going to let this game slip by us again, because we already did that before. And I mean, shout out to what's his name? J-Dub, that just scored 40.
Oh, Jalen Williams. Jalen Williams.
Shout out to Jalen Williams, bro. Like, I mean, I don't know if we talk about like how good he is as a number 2 in OKC. I I know I don't. I feel like I would name probably 5 or 6 more players before him as the best number 2. But when he was out there, bro, I mean, he was just doing his numbers, bro. He was doing his numbers, getting to the court, getting to the hole. Shea was obviously doing his thing, and so that was really the story, bro. I mean, Indiana came back with that TJ McConnell run, and then after that, they kind of just made the wrong decision. I feel like.
Yeah. I think sometimes part of being a leader is knowing when you don't got it, especially when you're injured. I know Tyrese wants to be out there. He wants to try to win, but I think you got to look at the bigger picture.
Yeah.
Got to look at the bigger picture and try to figure out what your team needs in that moment. And I think in that moment, Tyrese needed to have a seat, needed to sit down, like you said, TJ was having a phenomenal game. And I think I don't know that maybe they still don't win, right? Maybe they still don't get the W. But I think having an extra play out there, because he was essentially a decoy on offense. Like he wasn't a threat at that point. And at a certain point, OKC has to know this as well. Yeah. Something's wrong with this dude. He's been in and out of the game in the first half. We can be super aggressive with him because we're not afraid of blow-bys at this point. Because whatever it is, it's a lower leg injury. And so we can sit on his 3-point shot, let him shoot. Yeah. If he hits it, he hits it. Again, shout out to, like, it's crazy you can have a 31-point game and somehow not, even though you are the MVP of the league, likely going to be finals MVP, and nobody really care. Because like you said, J-Dub going for 40. And I tweeted out after they came back and won game 4, because they looked like they were dead in the water. Game 4, Western semis against Denver, fourth quarter, down 9, looked dead in the water. They came back, they won that series, or won that game, and ultimately that series. Yeah. NBA Finals game 4, they looked dead in the water. Indiana had that crowd rocking. It looked like they were on the verge of going up 3-1. They fight down the stretch, that last 3 minutes. I think it was like an 11-2 run. And now they're on 1 game away from winning the NBA Finals. And, you know, if they conclude this victory, like, they probably won't get the credit, but you have to look at them as one of the best teams, having one of the best overall seasons in NBA history, similar to last year's Celtics, similar to I think maybe that second Warriors title.
Yeah, I think that first KD, right? The first KD title.
First KD title. Like, you have to, they're going to be in the upper echelon when you look at great championship teams. They're going to be there, and they only can get better. Yeah. Right. And so they still, you know, I've seen people say this, win or lose, that they should make a run at Giannis, because they have the assets and the picks to push.
I don't know.
They have the assets and the picks.
Win or lose is kind of like, I mean, win, because you got to think about it, bro. Like you said, this isn't just, bro. I mean, I think if I saw something, if I saw it correctly, they would be third or tied with that KD Warriors for most wins, including the postseason. So it's like 81 or something like that. I forgot what it was. Obviously, the Bulls is up there, and that Warriors team is up there. But that's how much. Because, bro, what they end the season with? 68 wins.
68 wins.
Come on, bro. That's crazy. That's crazy. And then they just, you know, they were getting through the playoffs or whatnot, and they're doing exactly what they need to do. And so I don't know, like, bro, you're so young. You got a great core around you. I mean, Chet, J-Dub, and SGA, they just seem to be working well together. Lou Dort does exactly what Lou Dort needs to do. You know, I mean, to say, like, even win, go ahead. Yeah, you got the assets, but, like, I don't know. Just hold triangle down and run it back, bro. Like, do what you need to do.
I mean, and to me, so I agree. I don't think if they win in particular, even if they lost, I don't think they should. Yeah. But the thing to me that works so well about Oklahoma City is, at this point, at least at this point in time, their role players, they're happy with their role. They're not itching for more, right? So the James Harden, if you go back to the last time OKC was in the finals, the reason James Harden got traded is because James Harden said, I want more. Like, I don't want to be super six-man. I don't want to be Ginobili, essentially. I want more. And if you can convince Case and Wallace, who's still getting better, if you can convince Chet, right, to be part of an ensemble where SGA is the lead guy, if you can convince I almost called him Aaron Wiggins, right? you can convince Aaron. Aaron got a 50-point game this year. You know what I'm saying? So if you can
He
convince
does.
I'm gonna double check. I feel fairly certain it was one of the games where I don't think they played like the starter, so he got minutes, but
Oh
I
my
think he got a
goodness.
50-point game on his hands. You know what I'm saying? So let's see.
He is what a lot of people feel like Jabari Parker is out in Houston. Wait, is that
I'm
his name?
sorry, 41 points. 41
That's
points in
still
the game.
crazy. That's still crazy.
Still crazy. Yeah. But I mean, look, he got 41 points against the Kings in February, 35 against the Jazz in April, 30 against the Trailblazers. Like he's got four 25 plus performances this year. Right.
Yeah.
And so that's a guy who could look at himself and say, man, I can go make a couple extra bucks on the open market. I can be a number 2 scorer.
Yeah.
Right. So if they seem to have young guys who are content and playing their role and being those guys, and if they can keep that ensemble together and you win a chip, you absolutely run it back. Let me ask you this about Tyrese Halliburton. I've seen a lot of criticism of his performance last night. Do you think, given the injury, do you think that's a fair assessment to be so critical of him, despite the fact that we know he's dealing with the lower leg injury?
No, because like I said, bro, I mean, what competitor is not going to want to stay in the game? Now, granted, like you said, I mean, he should have assessed the situation and saw that, hey, TJ was doing this and you still got Nembhard out there and stuff like that. But it wasn't like to me, it wasn't like a disappearing act, like they kind of like try to put on Harden sometimes, or some other some other stars in certain crucial games. I think that Tyrese was out there because there was like a little run where he ended up literally getting 4 assists back to back. You know what I'm saying? Like great passes, and so he was still able to play make. He was still moving, but it just seemed like that's all he was doing, running back and forth. Where it was like, Tyrese, you're also probably you are our most clutch player, even though Siakam is probably playing our best, right? Playing the best.
Yep.
But this is where we need you down the stretch. And if you can't be that down the stretch when we cut it down to 4, then I mean, if you're going to fault him for just not, putting his ego aside and getting out the game, then okay, yeah. I mean, I guess I'm with you. I saw Kendrick Perkins doing that. Like him and I think him and Stephen A. Smith. I know Kendrick Perkins was doing that, but I was like, nah, I'm not really going to fault him for that. Especially after, come on, bro. We're talking about a guy who's literally hit the 4 biggest shots of the whole playoff series. 4 biggest shots. 4 most clutch shots out of the whole playoff series.
Tyrese Halliburton becoming a top 5 dead or alive clutch shooter or clutch performer was not on my bingo card when we started these playoffs
at all.
And I mean, like, yeah, if they somehow come back and win 2 more games and win the championship, like he's cemented. Like it's hard to take that status away from him, given how he's played this year. Even if he goes on an 0 for 9 streak, like he still will have a higher percentage than like Jordan, LeBron, Kobe, like some of the GOATs, right?
Yeah.
So spinning forward to game 6, or is it over? You think the Thunder are going to be celebrating?
I mean, it really depends. I actually do think that Indiana can win that game. I mean, it really depends on the status of Tyrese. Not saying that he needs to be, because it's not like he's jumping out the gym or nothing like that. But I mean, if he's out there and he's able to kind of score and get to the rack and stuff like that, because he does need to play. He needs to start. Yeah. He needs to play. TJ is still going to be that guy off the bench. You know what I'm saying? Nembhard is still going to be that other facilitator, that defender that you're literally putting on SGA all game. And he's been doing a great, even though SGA is averaging 30 plus, you know what I'm saying? Like Nembhard is still giving you great defensive minutes. You know what I'm saying? So I think that it really depends on that. If Tyrese is not, in my opinion, if he is 75%, then no. I mean, I got OKC. You know what I'm saying? I think Tyrese that calf needs to be great. That calf needs to be 100% and just needs to be stretched out, whatever it is that he needs. You know what I'm saying? And if he's out there, I do think the way that Indiana fans are just like rocking, that fan base, like when they're there, I mean, it's kind of mirroring what OKC looks like when they're home. Like if they can do that and all the other role players can do their thing, Naismith's going to have to be hitting shots. Nembhard and what's the other guy that comes off the bench and guards SGA? Is it Ben?
Ben Shepherd.
Ben Shepherd. Where's he from?
That's a great question.
I don't know where
Is this the Florida? Is you trying to sneak a Florida reference?
No. Nembhard was Florida before, and then he went to Gonzaga.
Yeah. Belmont.
Okay, got you. So, but he comes off the court. He comes on, and then he's guarding SGA tough too as well. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, these guys, Obi flying around, TJ and Siakam has to be great as well. Siakam has to he has to have like a 25-point game. You know what I'm saying? And so I do think that it can be done. And I mean, they've won games where SGA has scored 30 plus. So like, it's not even like, yo, you got to stop SGA. It's just, you can't let those other guys get super comfortable. Aaron Wiggins getting on the court, hitting 2 3s straight from the bench. Lou Dort, if you spread his, he can get 2 3s here and there. Boom. That's all he's going to give you. That's fine. Caruso last night didn't give you too much, but you can't let him get off the court and give you 20 points either. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't let him do that as well. So I do think that if I had to, I would probably take, if we were betting, I would take Indiana's points, whatever they're gonna give, because I'm pretty sure OKC is gonna be the favorite. But I do think that Indiana, if Tyrese is 100%, I think they'll force a game 7.
I think
they can.
So if I were Rick Carlisle, I would sit Tyrese Halliburton. I would not start him. I would probably only play him maybe a max of 20 minutes. And not let him get too, because I think, if at all, like to me, I would tell Aaron Nesmith, Nembhard, this is the game. Like, I need you guys. Yeah. Obviously, Siakam was without saying, but I would look at those 2 guys in particular, Miles Turner, that trio, and say,
Miles Turner. Yeah, no. Hey, solo me real quick. Miles Turner, bro. Dream. I know you want to go. Like, he did this whole little spill. Miles Turner, listen to me, bro. I was with you. You did a little interview and you said this. You said the day of the super teams are over. You need to construct your team like how we do, like how they like. It's you get a good player and you surround them around good role players. Well, then do your role, my guy, because you haven't. I don't even know if you're hitting 10 points. You know what I'm saying? You're out there, you're missing these 3-pointers. Not only that, though, you're not grabbing the rebounds. And for you to make that statement to be like, yo, this is how you construct a real roster. All right, well then show me what you're doing. Because I see the other guys. TJ's doing that. Yeah, Nembhard is doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously Siakam is there and you got these other guys, but you, my guy, I need you to go ahead and have a 20. Can you get me a 20-point game in these finals? And you turn it up, Miles. You have the talent. I think you have the talent. Go ahead and do it.
All right. That's the challenge, Miles. You got to step it up. He went 13-6 in his last game. 13.6 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal.
13-6 already quiet. So if you have a quiet 13-6, it's like, come on, bro. It probably felt like 7-3.
Yeah. So I think I would sit Tyrese, because here's the thing, like, in that Eastern Conference Finals against Boston last year, they were competitive without Tyrese. They just didn't have enough. But I think for one game, if you say, we got to win this one for the Gipper, we got to win this one for Hallie, so we can get to game 7. Yeah. We need everything y'all got. We throwing everybody on deck. Yeah. Thomas Bryant, you be ready if we call on you. Ben Shepherd, you be ready. Everyone got to step up and play a role.
Caitlin, if you're in the stands, just saying, just have your shoes next to, because we have to pull out all the stops and we want to stop this OKC team.
For sure. I got OKC. I think I picked them in 6 to start the series. I did another podcast. I was a guest on another podcast. Shout out to my guy, Brian, and oh gosh, I'm blanking on his name. Please forgive me. But I did their podcast and I said, yo, at the beginning, like, people are underestimating the Pacers. I thought it would go 6. I actually said, Pacers plus 500 to win the whole thing was a great Hail Mary bet to make, even though I don't bet. But, I think the Thunder finishes this thing in 6. I think they don't want to go to game 7 because, listen, game 7 against Denver, you can feel fairly confident because you knew Aaron Gordon was hobbled. You had already beaten them by like 30 or 40-something points already once at your place. You knew you could beat them. But game 7, like, that's just – it's a set of nerves that I don't think you want to mess with. Because I think the thing that I said in my prediction was that OKC at times can get little deer in the head lightish.
Yeah.
Right. I think that happened in game 1. I think that happened in fourth quarter, game 3. They got a little tight and it showed up in their performance where they get the whipping that ball because nobody wants to around the court because nobody wants to take the shot.
Yeah.
So I think that finished it off in 6. Y'all let us know what y'all think, how y'all call it, who y'all got. OKC, Pacers, game 6. Who's the X factor? Loso has Miles Turner as an X factor for Indy. I'm going to pick the trio. I'm going with the trio: Miles, Andrew, and I said Andrew. Is his name Andrew? It's not
Nemhard.
Andrew Nemhard.
Nemhard, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
I was thinking of his brother because his brother's coming out in the draft too. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, who y'all got in this series, man? So Loso, you had a couple.